reasons for rehabilitating, reusing, and developing parcels in already developed areas are multiple. Towns and cities across the country are learning that this can lead to greater walkability, less infrastructure costs, and a lower environmental impact when we create more dense neighborhoods. Infill, which is the idea of reusing or rehabilitating buildings to fill a market need or developing underused parcels, helps create a more dense environment in an already developed area. This can lead to a greater sense of community.
Uses run the gamut, most often focusing on housing, but also involving retail, entertainment, office, and mixed uses, as shown here with Mashpee Commons. Sites available include skipped-over parcels of land, land formerly in industrial use, closed military bases, the lots left after the demolition of abandoned housing, and underused parcels with buildings that can be rehabilitated or replaced. In pre-car America, people lived in dense neighborhoods that provided for most of their everyday needs. Things like grocery stores, tailors, and the like were located within a close walking distance to the home. The density of cities and towns began to change with the development of new technology, like the streetcar. People began to live in primarily residential neighborhoods instead of places with a mix of uses. The automobile allowed people to live further from commercial centers by decreasing travel time. This meant developers could build new, primarily residential communities away from historic hubs of activity in areas known as greenfields, which led to the creation of suburbs. Post-World War II, the American population began to expand rapidly. Suburbs kept pace with this expansion by spreading further and further out from already established cities and towns into greenfield areas where development had not previously occurred. Instead of putting new houses and businesses in cities and towns where there might be empty parcels or underused buildings or buildings needing rehabilitation, developers looked outside of these areas. Infill is a very important part of smart growth, which rose out of dissatisfaction with status quo community development and the negatives it has wrought, including traffic congestion, loss of open space, harsh environmental impacts, lack of affordable housing, and costly infrastructure. The Urban Land Institute has identified 6 forms, qualities, and processes of community development to be the key principles of smart growth: compact multi-use development, open space conservation, expanded mobility, efficient management and expansion of infrastructure, infill, redevelopment, and adaptive reuse in built-up areas, which all contribute to the 6th concept of enhancing livability. With these concepts in mind, smart growth aims to build communities that are more hospitable, productive, and fiscally as well as environmentally responsible than the communities which sprang up over the past 100 years.